always come back to it. I always joke about it being my most stable relationship. So having a relationship and loving what you do.
Subscribe. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. You heard me? Don't be selfish with it. Don't be selfish trying to keep us in your pocket, trying to keep us a secret and shit like that. Go ahead and share this shit because other people need to get in on it. You heard me?
But before I conclude all that, like sex education, how do you make that happen? Like, what are you talking about with sex education? Like, with different forms of, sex now, and sexualities and things. Like, how do you put that across to the world?
So with that, there have been two iterations of the sex podcast we've done. Both of them, well, they're on hiatus. If I'm going to be frank about it, but I've always had a interest in being mindful, being knowledgeable, and being inclusive, and being able to open up a conversation. So one of my good friends is a sex educator, and we met at a sex shop. And I saw a bunch of different things at said sex shop. I was like, you would be great for a podcast. And we started podcasting. So we talked about everything from, like, in the 15 episodes that we did for Coming Soon, which eventually became a new show called Not Your Mama Sex. We try to cover, like, one topic in each episode and something that's considered taboo or what have you. And we try to be as inclusive as we're qualified to be, I guess.
Makes sense. I get it. You're across some boundaries and limits, and that you get yourself in trouble or cause some problems. So I totally understand. So basically, like, how is it that you do all of this? Like, how, like, in 10 years you've come a long way. How do you do this?
Drugs. No. It's usually just trying to get a mic, trying to get a conversation, and at this juncture, like, being able to network and being able to have an editor and also knowing what I want and being able to have a flow with people. I think a lot of stuff happens in post. If I can get like an hour, 20 minutes, whatever, I can get decent content. I can get a good show. So knowing that and having confidence and, kind of having a conversation with someone, I treat everything very conversationally. And then from there, just edit. I know exactly what I want to do. I don't do a trivia show. I don't do an information show. I don't do a lot of interviews, but I know how to get them and I know how to craft them in a way that leverages my strengths.
Got it. That makes sense. And for someone, who maybe wants to get into podcasting who doesn't have an experience, but definitely feels that they have a nick for it, what would be the best advice you can give for them?
Just keep going. I actually consult at 2 colleges, and I've taught a few students who want to learn in and around Baltimore, and it's just important to me. Like, I like podcasting a lot. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I think that has to be a thing for you. Like, I was reading something the other day about this notion called pod stopping, this phenomenon where people will start, maybe do 5 podcasts, and then put the mics and all of that stuff away. There have been many times where I've taken breaks. There have been many times where I'm like, all right, I don't know if this was a good show or this is going to move forward, but I always come back to it. I always joke about it being my most stable relationship. So having a relationship and loving what you do.
Loving what you do. Definitely, I definitely agree with that. And how has growing up, are you originally from Baltimore?
Yes, I am.
And so how has your life in growing up in Baltimore affected you now as in your podcast and, what you put out to the world?
That's great. So at one point, my co-host from Robcast and I, we were on another network. We were trying to kind of branch out and do something different. And we were doing a show, and it was really cool. And then the unrest happened. And we had a person who was also on the network who's a New Yorker, who had a very staunch conservative Trump supporter, and she had a lot to say about Baltimore City. and I roasted her ass. And it was kind of the end of that partnership, because I was called a bully and all of these different things, but I was just gave her a daily dose of truth. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. It was like that reminder. Like, I wasn't going to sacrifice what I believed in. Like, just saying, oh, yeah, that's funny that you're talking about the city I'm in that's currently having all of this shit happening. I know I'm going to say that, and I'm going to continue doing my show the way I want to do it without anybody else's input. You know, and it was just like a very freeing moment. Like, I'm very confident in what I do, and that was just resonant for me.
Got it. I get that. And that's really before I get into the, the all the tea questions. Is for no, don't forget. I'm like, my mind's slipping. I'm super excited. I'm like making sure I stay on top. Anything you've done in 10 years of being on podcasting and now, making history, is anything that you said, man, was one thing that was one wrong decision I made, and I felt like I would have did,
I would say there have been some things where I was younger, I'm 34 now, so I started when I was 24. A 24-year-old is a lot different from a 34-year-old. It's probably some wild shit that I said in the history, but it always came from a place of love. It always came from, I can be wrong. So maybe some stuff that I've said, or maybe some guests that I just didn't work with again. Just kind of not being super patient. Being confident in what I know, but not being patient is probably the biggest one. Just
awesome.
Dropping off the show, just not saying yo, let's continue this. It's just like, nah, I think I'm good here. I think I'm good.
Good. Have a good one. I'll talk to you never. Got it.
It's been real.
It's been real. I'm head out. No, I get it. So, on to our questions that we like to ask all our guests who do our all-tea interviews. First question is this: if you had all the money and power necessary, what would you do to make change that you feel must benefit the LGBT plus community?
Yeah, I'm here for the support, and I think it has to be for me on brand. I don't want it to be something that's fake. So I'm going to donate here, I'm going to donate here. No, the arts are important to me, and healthcare is important to me. And I was unemployed at one point during this whole podcast journey, and I had to do this whole healthcare thing, what have you. And it was at a hospital that's in quote unquote one of our neighborhoods. And I was just like, all right, this is definitely a resource, but it also needs to have more stuff here. It needs to have more resources here. So if I had the resources, they're going to a spot like that, maybe even open up other ones. And even for the arts, I'm really into arts, I'm really into painting, I'm really into support. And I know there's a lot of starving artists, and I know that, from what I've seen, my experience has been around you don't have the resources, there are different things that you're just unable to do because you're living your truth, you're living your life, and it's unfair. So if I can help in whatever way, why not? Here's some grants, here's scholarship, whatever, here's this hospital, let's do it.
Right. Gotcha. Wow. That makes definitely sense. Well, thank you, Shada, for that. Hopefully we can get you that money and power so you can make that happen.
2020, baby.
We out here.
You can find me at mtothernetwork.com. We have all the podcasts on there. We're on Spotify, we're on Spreaker, iTunes, Google Podcasts, all the places. And on the IG, that's Lord Lee MTR or MTR Podcast. That's both. I'm both people. Split personality. And you can check me out on the Facebook, MTR Podcast, as well on Twitter, MTR Podcast. And I'm Rob Lee with MTR.